still don't, because this is an audio podcast. But this is Blankbodies.
Hey!
Well, they can't see you. I can.
A Vampire the Masquerade.
Please
Tips
close
and
that
discussion
browser.
Podcast.
It's not in VPN. Come on.
Yeah, we're a tips and discussion podcast for V5 Vampire the Masquerade, and we're starting off this boy by drinking.
Yeah, I'm Hunter.
And I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
Skipper's not with us this evening. He had to move.
The FBI had to talk to him about that baby bullshit.
Yeah. And I know I sound a little more sad than normal. This will be a fun one, but it's a hell of a script we got ahead of us.
I worked really hard on this.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Anyway, Malort time.
Time for Malort.
Yeah,
Because we had to become more Midwestern.
Just flaunting that ability to actually consume in front of me.
That's like literally one of my favorite things to do in V5 is get a high humanity and just eat and drink shit in front of other characters.
You're a monster, just letting you know. The podcast can't see that you flipped me off.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah. So today we're kind of doing the Vampire History 101 course.
Yeah.
Not even 101, more like
No.
middle school history of America.
Yeah, I wrote this with the intent of hitting the big points in vampire history, previous Old World and V5 lore updates, with the same energy and speed that the American fourth grade educational system explains the Trail of Tears.
Yeah, that does actually bring up a good point. How much racism are we going to be omitting? Because if it's the American education system...
we will dig into it later on, but this is a bullet point, so it's like, okay, the racism happened, I'll dig into it later when we actually cover this more in depth. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so there's going to be some betrayals, some history, some archaeological bickerings, and rumors and conjecture, as well as facts.
No. So this is probably going to be 2 episodes. Fingers crossed it doesn't turn into a third, but...
Yeah.
See, we've also... Well, Sarah put in the script not to read it, but I think it's important to acknowledge our sources real quick on this episode. I hope you write these down because you won't remember. Currently, the script has used the V5 Core Book, Beckett's Jihad Diary, the Anarch Book, the Camarilla Book, Chicago by Night, Blood Gods, Fall of London, Gentleman's Guide to Vampire, Outstar, the White Wolf Fan Wiki, Time of the Thin Bloods, with some notes on Ascension, Gehenna, and Children of the Night.
The Children of the Night, I'm trying to remember which one that was. Oh, fuck.
I don't know, that wasn't in my library.
I have a copy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you do. That's where I got that from. Okay.
If you show me the cover, I should be able to figure out which one it is.
It's got vampires on the cover.
Yeah,
describing almost 80% of the books.
I had to use that for a reference thing to something that happened in V5 lore that I was just like, wait, where's the context for this? Oh, yeah, it's over here.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I don't have that.
Children of the Night, it was the first edition's like big collection of important NPCs.
Again, I have that really fucking weird one I should bring over sometime that's like somehow almost like 10 inches tall.
Oh, yeah, the wanted posters?
Yeah, it does not fit on a fucking bookshelf unless you lay it sideways.
I assume
It's a
they
nice
wanted you to
book.
pull the staples out and hang them or something.
It's a nice book. I like it as like a prop, I guess, if I was running a story. But at that point, it's like, well, I don't want to rip this out of the book. So do I Xerox this?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, look at this little creepy girl.
I don't know.
She's an angry gangrel.
I don't know. I thought it was really funny in the Ravenloft book they put out for 5e. In the spine of a couple pages of like maps and like handouts and stuff, there's little text that's like, we give you permission to photocopy and print this out. And it's like, I will do this with every page of this book. I got excited. I was like, oh, did they hide like a secret lore like mystery thing? And I like pulled the spine apart and it's just like, you can print this page off again. I was like, you motherfuckers.
You thought you found a clue?
I was like picking at the spine.
You thought you were
split
Nicolas
it.
Cage in National Treasure and you'd found something.
Just remember, fans, if you pay very close attention, I'm pretty sure you can make a drinking game of every time Hunter brings up fucking Ravenloft or Strahd.
Once per episode so
At
far, I'm
least.
pretty sure.
Once again. You can at least get probably 2 good shots in at least every episode.
That's a moderate amount of drinking for like a work day. That's fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
if you're sitting doing paperwork, crank a couple
Blankbodies
shots.
does not condone drinking on the work site unless you are able to.
My work's got a beer fridge.
Yeah,
I
like
condone it.
that bitch is fine. I
Yeah.
shouldn't at one of my jobs. The other one I'm at home, so
Also, all my almost all my jobs before this were at bars or liquor stores, so they encouraged it.
Wait, stores?
yeah. There are stores where we keep liquor and sell
Yeah,
it.
you shut the fuck up. You know exactly what I mean.
No, I worked at a real high-end one, and I was actually required to go to tastings on the clock.
Okay, that does make sense. I was just like, no, like the bulletproof glass bullshit. They're like, yeah, drink the stock.
No, the liquor store I worked at was multi-floor. They had a wine cellar.
It's very nice.
Wait, was it downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been there on the job.
Yeah, it's cool.
I had a delivery person who needed to be assisted, and I was just like, walked into the store, and I was like, can I use the facilities? Why? It's downtown. I need to find a place to do it, and half the time they're trying to stop the homeless people. I'm just like, look at me.
It's a nice store during Gen Con to like sit and see how many people in cosplays come in to buy what liquor.
Yeah.
It's if you
always-
want to sit and people watch.
I always got some good combos in with people because I always look like a disgruntled man in a button-up polo. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh, hey, I like nerd stuff. They'd get real excited. Because I've noticed that during Gen Con, at least as a local, that if you leave like a 5-block square from around the convention center, everyone gets a lot less friendly and a lot more confused at like everyone there's presence. Like they forget it happens every year.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing happened last summer with the BLM stuff because I was down for the protests, like helping out, trying to do my part. And I was trying to like duck around tear gas on my bike, and you'd go like 2 blocks over, and just the brunch gays were doing things like there wasn't like war crimes happening the next block over. It was fucking weird.
Anyway, that's the intro. We don't got time for this
That's your
shit.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
All right, so we're starting way back.
in the before times, like actually the before times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the antediluvians.
Oh, we're going even before that, bitch.
Yeah, this is like biblical times.
Yeah. Well,
And on the 7th day, God created vampires.
kinda. Basically for this overview, because internally in the lore, the way it's written, as well as the way players interact with this, there's a lot of conjecture and rumor and disagreements, including canonically between written NPCs about what the fuck is actually happening. So I tried to write everything out with this is generally what everybody agrees on.
Yes.
And again, the touchstone I'm trying to go when we do the research is a lot of the end cap lore books from the original books, because there's a fair bit of evidence that I'd say leads to maybe them being used, because the Week of Nightmares is just, again, Ascension, oddly enough, not Gehenna, has the most information on what actually happened there.
Yeah, but again,
Ravnos fucked around and got Chinese
We'll talk
yeah,
about that in a second. We're getting there.
super ahead of ourselves
We
here.
gotta go back to like literally like Neanderthal times. So
Yeah.
little unga bunga, I guess.
So basically, the Bible story, Adam and Eve and all that, and then Abel and Cain.
Yep.
No.
Some vampires say that the Cain who killed his brother Abel was turned into the first vampire. That was the curse that God put on him.
Yeah, because he did the first murder.
If you're coming from the Western canon of things, yeah, that's the rough of what people will say, but it's just generally agreed. Some point in way back prehistory, could be 20,000 years ago, could be 200,000 years ago. We don't fucking know. Some asshole is the progenitor of all of this bullshit, and we just kind of generally agree to call it Cain. We don't even know if it is a dude.
And there's still a few clans that say, haha, we didn't come from that guy.
Yeah.
See Samdi.
Yeah.
And there's evidence that they didn't.
Yeah.
Exactly, I know.
Yeah. There's like a whole legion of clans from Africa that have their own progenitor. There's stuff in the New World that has their own stuff.
I was about to say, we don't talk about them.
No, we do, because it's
No,
cool.
you know who we're talking about.
I know who I'm talking about. We're not going to talk about it right now. That's another fucking episode.
No time.
Yeah, I'm trying to trace, like I said, 4th grade American education system history. So, whomsoever this Kane was, created what is known as the First City, somewhere in the Fertile Crescent area. And they produced a series of vampire offsprings. These are called the Antediluvians. That literally, before the deluge. That is what that means. And then the deluge fucked everything up. Much like the Fire Nation. Or a myriad of other pop culture references.
Speaking of other pop culture references, we're talking about so many things that I vaguely remember hearing in school as a child, and them completely leaving my brain.
So
again.
the Fertile Crescent is like that part of Iraq that we're really insistent on owning because it has oil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, most modern research in the period thinks that they're actually going for minerals.
I thought that's the reason we went into Afghanistan was for like the lithium.
Yeah, that's why they think Pete Buttigieg was over there. I'm not even kidding.
No, I don't doubt it.
There's if you look at up old interviews with him, he has fucking mineral charts of the Middle East in like framed behind him. Anyway,
Honey, we don't have time to get into that right now.
yeah, all I was trying to say is I imagine the old I Discover. Remember this old documentary? They had like the 3D museum you'd move through.
Those.
But I just imagine that, but it's just all pictures of like World of Darkness cover books and artwork with that like random like flute music. Do, 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 do.
Should be flute, but it's actually just like a compilation of The Cure. Just the soundtrack.
Played on a MIDI flute.
Yeah, played on a MIDI flute, but it's just, the soundtrack to The Crow.
If someone has the ability to make me a video of that, and then instead of the iWatch logo, it's our logo that pops up, I will probably throw you money or something.
Yeah, because that would be fun.
God damn. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so the reason that we have motherfucking clans, and to boil it down as simply as we can, is Kane produced a generation of vampires, and then he had grandbabies.
Yeah, his babies made babies, and the babies... the
grandbabies.
The grandbabies did a matra and patricide.
And Kane got angry, so he cursed them.
What's the gender neutral for patra and matricide?
Just
Genocide?
No, genocide's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's...
I think it's just homicide, I think. I think it's just murder.
Yeah,
Parent-side?
homicide. I suppose it is...
Sire-side?
It might be genocide, though, when you're killing 2/3 of all vampires in existence at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. That does come back around to being genocide. But,
The math doesn't check out. Lilith might have been a vampire, too. Moving on.
like I said, I don't got time for that right now. We will do a fucking Kane episode later.
Again, I'm doing this for the deep lore nerds.
No, I know. Because I know there's probably some nerd that's, like, pushing up his nose, his glass on the bridge of his nose. It's like, well, they didn't bring up Lilith or the crone, or...
But if you're listening to this podcast and you're also somehow a biblical scholar, get a hold of me. We'll do a whole episode about vampires in the Bible.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Because I need someone to help me with that research.
Yeah, I was not raised Christian, so like I have some vagary ideas, but I don't know enough verses to really get into it, and I don't got that kind of time right now.
I was Lutheran, so we just did like all the rituals and then we're like nice to each other, and that's about it.
But yeah, so you're Lutheran. I was supposed to be Catholic, but I didn't give a shit.
I come from the Matrix.
I feel like a Catholic scholar would probably be the best, but as long as you're not... No.
As long as you're not a church that's going to hate crime me, I'm cool with it.
I'd say even if you're just Mormon, come tell me what the Mormons think about vampires. I'd love to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually pretty chill.
About vampires?
Oh, no, about it. As long as you don't think it's serious, they're pretty fucking chill. To be completely honest,
I had Mormon friends visit me over the weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. No. One of my oldest friends is a Mormon, and he's just kind of like,
yeah,
right.
But none of them were biblical scholars.
I think he did play also,
which is cute, but we don't have time for that shit right now.
No time.
Point is, Cain killed a bunch of grandbabies for being asshats, and then cursed them, and then all their progeny had curses based off of the flaws of each of them, and that's the basis of the jihad, is what it's called in the game, which is the continual cycle of elders and childer just fighting each other over supremacy and murder and death and plotting, and that is the basis of this entire fucking game. All right, I covered it.
Daddy issues.
Gotta move the fuck on. All right, so then after the period of the deluge and the antediluvians, you get what's called the long night, which is basically a fairly chill time to be a vampire. It's generally agreed. It was kind of cool. We had the elders on top, child are doing mission things. Things were chill. This lasted from about the fall of Rome till the sacking of Constantinople, which is what happened in 1204. And then we had the War of Princes. The War of Princes was a bunch of these elders in Europe looking at each other going, hey, I like your land, I want that. And then they fought each other.
Yeah, so basically just what everyone else in medieval Europe was doing anyway.
Yeah, but, with cool vampire powers and, I'm assuming, more fucking, Probably.
And clans had different powers for reasons that aren't always clear, but...
Yeah.
Just put on a montage of Anne Rice's anything, and that's it. Just that for like a few centuries.
Yeah, literally 1200 to 1500.
Mm-hmm. Just Queen of the Damned, just in the background.
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned is modern.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what happened?
Oh, that part of the end of the movie where they're trying to, like, fucking explain what happened over the past hour and a half, and you're just like, there's not enough context for any of this shit.
No, I'm just talking like the intro credits, just, with Lestat just being weird in the background. It is that for like 300 years.
Nah, I was gonna say that just...
It's like, is he fucking the curtains? Maybe.
I don't know. I have no clear memory of that film. It's just a fucking blur.
Things were so strange in that time period that it's canonical that vampires and the Fae got along pretty well during that era, so they were just like high on fairy shit most of the time.
That's also called Toronto.
Cool. We don't have time for that shit. So, towards the end of the War of Princes, there began what is called the First Anarch Rebellion, which is when the younger kindred was like, hey, so I'm tired of my elders throwing me into battle or just making a fuck ton of baby vampires to yeet into battle constantly. Fuck that shit. You want to overthrow them? And then a bunch of the young baby bros were like, fuck yeah, let's do that.
Don't forget that First Inquisition.
Which is... Yeah, so the Spanish Inquisition and all the purges...
That was all about vampires?
Well, according to VTM lore, that was a good part of it. There was, the Black Death and, the instigation of capitalism by overthrowing gift economies and usurping the economic power of women in the community. But that is a whole other thing I'll get into fucking later.
So, the First Inquisition and the Spanish Inquisition were similar and sometimes the same thing.
Yes, basically. Yeah, First Inquisition was the church going, oh my god, there's vampires. We should murder them for God and take their shit.
Because they're vampires.
And not because we want their money.
Money!
Yeah.
Now, do either of you know? Is that why the church ended up turning on the Templar? Were they all vampires? Secretly?
I don't have time to get into that. We'll do a Dark Ages episode later.
No, we can. It was an idea that popped in my head, and I was wondering if either of you knew.
Deep lore brain moment. If I believe correctly, it was not that they were, at least in lore, not in reality, in lore VTM, it was the fact that they were getting too high for their britches because, they were the murder hobos, and they had the stuff, and, they were like, no, it's ours. We killed the vampires. Why? And then the church was like, no, we the boss. And they're like, no, we have swords.
So just like in real life, except they got their riches from vampires instead of brown people.
Oh, no, there's both. Vampires and brown people.
Oh, okay.
It was both.
Yes, because surprisingly enough, the brown people can be vampires.
Yeah, there's actually a whole collection of kindred that are
What up, Zombie
brown.
Bros?
I was going to say there's
And
Banu
the
Hakim and there's Nosferatu and there's tons of clowns. There's tons. There are clowns.
Yes!
Those are the Malkavians. They were jesters in this time period. But no, there's tons of clans that have tons of people of all different shapes, sizes, colors, hues, alignments.
It's just Venture, who are usually turbo white.
Yeah. But we don't have time to get into that right now. So Convention of Thorns was a big meeting in the late 1400s, like 1490s. That happened in England, where a bunch of vampires were like, hey, so we need to stop this fucking rebellion because we're all going to goddamn die. So they came up with a covenant that they would all agree upon to run their society.
So I have a question.
Sup?
Because I didn't pay attention in class or when I was reading these books.
All right. Hit us.
Wasn't there something happening in America in 1492?
Yeah, it's another genocide.
That's Cristo Colombo.
Yeah, Cristo Colombo and his rape of an entire civilization and a manatee.
Did he fuck a manatee?
Yeah, he fucked a manatee.
Dude, that's
He
sick.
wrote about it in his journal.
Honestly, though,
Didn't he say that the manatee was more supple than a real woman?
No, I think he said, if I remember right, he said the manatee was much uglier than he expected a mermaid to be.
oh yeah, that's right. He thought it was a mermaid, so he fucked a manatee.
You know, and a lot of children. And I really don't want to get into that right now.
In VTM lore, do you think it was a manatee or do you think it was a real mermaid?
I think it'd be really funny if it was a fae that just tricked him into fucking an actual manatee.
Yeah.
Not that I condone animal defilement like that. It's very fucked up.
No, but please, Jason Carl, make that real.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Never once reference fucking animals in any of the books, please. So, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
And then raped a bunch of kids.
And then the year after, some vampires had a cool meeting.
They had a really cool meeting, guys.
There's a rapid tone shift.
I'm not going to let Christopher Columbus get away with that shit.
I mean, I'm very glad that it's at least I believe so. They've stopped calling it Columbus Day and we're calling it Indigenous Peoples Day.
We're trying to do that, but
Depends.
there's some people that are just like, no, why are you erasing Italian heritage? And I'm just like, fuck that.
Depends on the state.
Yeah.
No one's erased Italian heritage. There's a Domino's every 5 miles in this city.
You're not wrong. But anyways, so the Convention of Thorns have 3 major parts to it. The first part is the setup and establishment of the Camarilla. That is made up of 7 basic clans, which are the Ventru, the Toreador, the Malkavians, the Nosferatu, the Tremere, the Gangrel, and the Bruja. The second major part is the Assamites, which are now referred to as the Banu Hakim.
Mm-hmm.
It acknowledges their existence. It acknowledges them as an independent clan. They can do their own thing. They are not allowed to diablerize anybody except for those who are not part of the Camarilla and their own clan.
Yeah,
That's where that whole bullshit.
Oh yeah, that definitely stopped them.
Well, there's a whole treaty that happened before this that involves some like fuckery, but that's also like I'm not gonna get into that right now. I don't have time.
You said it didn't stop them, but it does specifically say in the script, so I assume in the books it says that they're cursed to be unable to.
Yeah, the supposedly it's part of the big reason why the Tremere were accepted because they were a clan that just popped up in the middle of the Middle Ages because a bunch of alchemists were like, I have an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The mages were like, what if we became vampire?
Well, they were like,
magics.
well, they were trying to be like, I want immortality, but instead of finding the Philosopher's Stone, they're just like, oh, but vampirism.
That
So-
Samitsi over there looks tasty.
Yeah, so the Tremere became established, and part of their being established was that they cursed the Assamites to not do the diablerie thing they like to do so much. And diablerie is when you consume another vampire so hard you eat their soul and gain some of their powers, for reference. Anyways, don't have time to get into that. Third part of the fucking convention. Words are hard.
Thorn.
Drink every time Sarah says we don't have time.
Oh, they're gonna get fucked. The Anarchs. The Anarchs were, the ones that were like, did the uprising. Because, fuck you, Dad, I want to go skateboarding. The Anarchs became accepted as part of the Camarilla. They did not face punishment for their revolt. But they were supposed to return to their clans and sires. And basically it's like, look, you don't technically have to be part of the structure, but you basically are part of the structure and just kind of, we cool?
And that's how they hard schismed into Sabbat.
Yeah. The Spot are made up of anarchs that saw that convention and went, no, this is bullshit.
No, we ain't cool.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Not only do I see this as a problem, I now want to eat my father.
Yeah, so that's mostly made up of the Tzimisce and the La Sombra, but a sprinkling of all the other clans are throughout all the groups.
Were they independently recognized or Sabbat recognized the Giovanni? Because I know
I'm about to get into
Yep.
that.
Okay.
I'm about to
All
get
right.
into
Just
that.
making
So
sure.
that's the 3 major parts of the treaty. The Convention of Thorns also set up the 6 traditions, which the Anarchs and the Camarilla Ivory Tower guys agreed to be like, oh yeah, no, these rules are important, at least for maintaining the masquerade, establish the masquerade. The followers of Set, which is the old-timey words for the ministry, were invited to this meeting, and they're just like, nah, bro, I'm good. They just vibed in Egypt, doing their own thing.
Yeah, so that's
worshipping their corpse dad.
so that's what the 4th or 5th group there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was the Tzimisce, La Sombra, and the Bruja made up the bulk of the Anarchs. Most of the Tzimisce and the La Sombra became Sabbat.
So there's the Camarilla, the Anarchs, the Sabbat, the followers of Set, who are now the Ministry.
Yeah,
and then also the Assamites. So
Well,
far.
no.
There was the independent clans, is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, so
But they're all kind of vibing,
Well,
doing their own thing, separate things.
Yeah, let me break this down. So Cambria became the big organization, big boy conglomerate. A subsect of the Cambria are the Anarchs, which were like, we don't like your structures, but we'll...
We do like the not letting the mortals know that we eat them.
Yeah, because, the Inquisition is not good, very bad time. And then what broke away from the Anarchs is the Sabbat, because they're just like, fuck you, Dad, I'm going skateboarding, but harder, and with more cannibalism. And...
We here at Blankbodies do want your fan art of a cannibal skateboard.
Vampire.
If somebody wants to do like a really rad Zemitsu or La Sombra, like skateboarding,
No.
but in medieval attire, make it look like a woodcut.
They want it to be normal. I want it to be a cannibal skateboard.
Is the skateboard eating another skateboard, or is there a cannibal on the skateboard?
Follow your heart, artists.
Anyways, and then so those are the three big groups that come out of the Convention of Thorns. The clan, the followers of Set, aka the Ministry, were invited to this. They opted to not.
Yeah.
And the Assamites were also invited to this meeting, aka the Banu Hakim. They were invited. They showed up, and their part of the treaty is they are independent, but they agreed to do no more of the forbidden snack.
No more eating and uphold the masquerade, basically.
High air quotes.
Yes. And a lot of them returned to their homelands and formed the Ashira with a conglomerate of other randos from different clans, which is also very interesting. I want to get into later, but we're not gonna. I don't got goddamn time.
Drink.
Yep. Promise of 1528 as an agreement between the Camarilla and the Giovanni, because the Giovanni were fucking around in Italy, and they're like, hey, so we're a real clan, right? We ignore the fact that we ate all of the Cappadocians.
Yeah, I was about to say, during that whole period of the First Inquisitions, literally a splinter cell of the Cappadocians just went, but what if we were in charge and we ate the older ones?
Oh, you mean like a lot of Italian fucking history where it's just different warring families backstabbing each other until one ended up on top? Oopsie poodle.
Well, again, the Cappadocians made them by accident. Well, didn't make them by accident. They were like, oh, this is a cool side thing. And they just went, murder.
Yeah.
And they took, during the whole Inquisition, they were like, perfect time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Promise of 1528 is the Camarilla officially acknowledges the Giovanni are the head of that clan. They are to remain independent for 500 years. If those of you who can do math are realizing there's a very interesting problem that we'll discuss later. Yeah. So that's where we're at by the start of the Renaissance.
So that's the old world fuckery. That's kind of what's covered by in the old books. The
Everything up till Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Dark Ages I know is mostly like handles around the 1200s, but I've seen people roleplay and LARP this time period and a little after and a little before. But yeah, basically up to Dark Ages covers this shit.
Okay.
So you got the Camarilla, Anarchs, Sabbat, and then the followers set, the Assamites / the Ashira, and then the Giovanni.
There's a lot of other smaller clans, but they are not as big in the lore. We don't talk about the Bali. We don't talk about the Maharaja. They come back later, but they're not as prominent to the lore.
They are mostly doing their own thing in continents that aren't Europe or continental U.S. really. So
yeah, basically if you want to hit the big boy big dot meta points for a lot of World of Darkness, or at least Vampire the Masquerade, it's very Western canon. I did not fucking write this. It's just kind of how it is. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to acknowledge everything else outside of the canon as best I can.
We are not going to say the words, but we will address the fact that there is a certain continent that has some of the scariest motherfuckers around. We just don't talk about them in lore because they're very scary and very powerful.
Some of them do get brought up in some interesting lore sheet stuff in V5.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that later.
And also some notes and some character fluff stuff in Chicago and some of the stuff called Blood Gods. There's a lot of really interesting nuggets of info that if you're reading between the lines, you're like, are you leaving this for me as a plot hook, or are you guys planning to write some things in books? I'm very excited either way.
I'm just wondering if it's written as just, if it looks like this, don't. Should just be the only descriptor. Just don't.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna hop in the time machine and scoot ahead several hundred years.
Yes.
Past several hundred years of bullshit, including Victorian age books. We're just gonna not fucking talk about that right now.
There's a lot of books that happen at that time period, and they're interesting, but kind of ineffectual lore-wise.
Well, at least for
Broad
major
strokes.
broad things that happened in the lore meta plot that directly affect things in V5. If I am actually wrong about this and somebody wants to fucking send us an email, especially if you're actually part of the writing staff for these books and you want us to correct something, fucking please hit me up or us up. I guess we all have the same fucking email for this.
We do. Just remember, it goes directly into my server, and it will hurt if it's mean.
Let's skip her out of here. I've just been getting a little extra intoxicated, and
You got are you handling the shenanigans for two people?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing a great
You're
job,
doing
but you
great.
know,
I'm trying to truck through this because small side tangent. I got fucking electrocuted this morning. My arms
Sorry, I had
hurt.
an exposed wire.
It wasn't you. I had to go in for some testing.
from what I understand, you expose your wire 2 to 3 times a day.
Hey.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, your electroshock treatment.
Yeah. No, it's just some medical testing I had to do, and I actually know what my fucking nerves sound like. And it's weird to have that in my brain space now.
Hell yeah, you should have let me sample it.
I am really tempted to ask the doctors if there's a way that we could actually send me the audio. Like, did they save those? Can I have them?
I mean, you paid for them.
New podcast intro.
Oh my god. Just this weird, ratchet, fucking chunky, crunchy industrial theremin noise.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll just get my drum machine on and like crank a distortion pedal through it.
All right.
Hey, did anybody know that these guys are fans of punk music?
It's not punk, that's industrial.
I was gonna say that's industrial, you fuck nugget. So this time machine took longer than I thought it would. Anyways,
No.
we're skipping ahead to the 20th century, to the start of, well, what a lot of people consider the start of the Second Anarch Rebellion. So, who here has played the first Bloodlines game?
Yee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know how LA, San Diego, that whole, like, the Anarch Free States in the Southern California area, that is the start of the Second Anarch Rebellion can have its roots traced to when that rebellion happened in the 1940s, which is the meta plot structure for things that happened for that game. So basically, if you play Bloodlines 1, you at least have the rough wherewithal of that. Also, they talk about it a bit if you watch any of the LA by Night streams, because it's a continuation of that lore.
But yeah, isn't that area in like southern LA the largest anarch freehold in America?
Yeah, so there's, basically that like southern third quarter of California is the biggest anarch free area. That's why it's called the Anarch Free States.
Okay.
Outside of that, I think there's like Gary, Indiana, now like Berlin, and a few other places that are doing an uprising.
And
But
if you've seen the new Mortal Kombat movie, you know how much of a shithole Gary is.
no.
Or if you've seen Ghost Hunters.
Oh yeah,
Or-
they did that fucking, the Ghost Bros did that movie where they're like, oh, we're gonna go to the demon house.
Yeah, the Demon House of Gary. I've seen it stairs. I didn't see them in Indiana though. I saw them.
No,
in
I was gonna say, didn't he
Vegas.
burn the house fucking down?
No, he tore it down, tore the basement apart brick by brick, and rebuilt it in his museum.
Oh, that's super not problematic at all.
So I've been in the basement, technically.
Yeah, like I've been in the basement, but not in the basement. How was that?
That's not how wraiths work.
I don't know. It was a pretty cool. It was a cool museum though.
It's weird.
I don't know if I saw any real ghosts, but like, I saw the Annabelle doll before he got it taken back by the owner because he pissed him off.
The Annabelle?
Annabelle?
The actual Annabelle doll?
I know.
Yeah, the real one.
I'm just
they had
saying, Drunky over there said Annabelle.
Annabelle. Yeah, I got to see the real Annabelle doll before the owner took it back. Pissed him off with his Ghost Bro stuff. I also saw Jack Kevorkian's van and office in Suicide Machine.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not haunted, I don't think, though. So
No.
that's
Zach
bummer.
Bagans, while I consider him an interesting character, I'm like, that museum does, for like $30 if you're into true crime shit, like, it could be worth it.
It was good. Just get there early. Don't do what we did.
What'd you do?
We showed up like an hour after it opened.
Oh, mistakes.
Waited in line for about 4.
Oh, but yeah. Any of you guys, just to wrap up the 20th century, basically a lot of the plot and the games and stuff in Old World of Darkness that are about like Gehenna and the end times and all the different bloodlines and the Sabbat and just all that shit is just the plot for the end of the 20th century and supposedly the end of time and society. And so if you played any of the old world games, yeah, it's just all of it's like doom and death and the thing. The antediluvians are waking up and they're gonna eat us and we gotta stop that. And then other people are like, nah, that's not a thing. You're crazy.
And then the red stuff.
All right, so yeah, that brings us up to more modern era.
Yeah, so the modern times of 1993.
I was 2.
You were 2. I was 4.
Ah.
My false memories were much older than that.
All right. You keep changing your time periods, and it worries me. So, The Beckoning. That's what this is about, the beginning of this, The Beckoning. The Beckoning is a force of some sort. Port. I wish I was drinking port. I am not.
So is the beckoning what happens when Beckett shows up?
No. I wish.
Somebody get me a squirt bottle.
Beckoning, baby.
Baby.
I'm not
Anywho.
going to allow them to get this drunk ever again.
I'm not even drunk. I've been up since 7 a.m. because I had to go get electrocuted at 9 a.m. today. And I had to try to really hard not explain to a very nice doctor that I am aware of what this electrocution device is because I've used a violet wand before. I was like, it's too early and he is too pleasant.
I'm drinking sparkling water.
Now.
Well, yeah, because he's got to chase down the Malort. So, the Beckoning is the force that is drawing elder vampires off to the east, especially like the Middle East area, for reasons no one is certain of yet, because the people they could ask, the elders, have fucked off, and they left no note. You know, like many of my dates.
I thought you usually were the one that's like, get out.
Yeah, that's the other half.
Yeah, a little 50-50. You got to have that work-life balance.
Yeah.
Which, to be completely honest, it's one of the parts that I am very interested in because there's some potential in the old Gehenna book that might have been, but there's not enough evidence to figure that out, and I really hope we find out what that is because that could be a myriad of things. That could be Lilith drawing them in, Cain drawing them in, but
like the clan found, like the antediluvians, the clan elders themselves, those murderous grandbabies.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, I'm actually really interested in that, but again,
could be just a wizard.
Yeah, just one douchey wizard, just like.
Could be fairies.
Could be fairies.
Crocker voice. Fairies.
I have a small fan theory. I know it's probably bullshit about the guy who's in charge of the Urul Shagi from the Banu Hakim doing some sort of bullshittery, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to raise an army and then kill all the vampires and then myself. And that will please Hakim. And I'm like, I don't know if that will, but like...
I mean, it would be on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point, we're getting way sidetracked, so The Beckoning.
Yeah.
I... through some digging around in fluff, was able to trace that the beginning of The Beckoning, as far as I could trace in V5, went to Menelaus and from the Chicago books. Because if you read the Critias section, his sire Menelaus, ancient Greek vampire that's been in Chicago, and this is the whole fucking thing. Anyways, Menelaus got pulled into The Beckoning and fucked off. And Critias was a big sad boy. And then he felt his connection with Menelaus snap, and then he was an angry boy and did a bunch of fucked up shit. And Menelaus fucked off a little bit after the War of Chicago, which was the Lupines went to Chicago and murdered a bunch of people and fucked shit up. I can see you just pouring wine. I know, just fucking. Oh yeah, pour that bitch.
I just hear dates
Dates.
and names.
Can you tell I was like?
They're like very European names.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Can you tell I was a history major and then I changed because I was like, man, I really don't want to be a teacher.
There's one coming up.
We're
going to talk about that she was very adamant we find the date for, and I had 3 separate books to look over, and one of them did have the exact date, and she was very happy about that.
Yeah.
I mentioned this about my elementary or middle school time in history class, but this is also how I treated my art history classes.
I love taking art history in college. Did I tell you about me doing art history the last time I was trying to finish my art degree?
No.
Yeah, so I had this really rad art history teacher, and he was fine with the fact that I came in like hungover all the time. But
art.
he would be doing these like slideshows and it's art history, so of course it's in the Western canon, so it's a lot of like Renaissance and pre-Raphaelite and da-da-da. So you hit the Clyde show, go, new painting would show up, and I'd just be in the back kind of drunk going, side boob. And he thought that was fucking funny, and he was like, no, that's great, because then he flipped it into like, let's talk about male gaze and female objectification through art and Madonna horror complex. Like, he turned around my shenanigans into being like an actually good class discussion. I was just like, you were literally the best teacher I've ever had.
Why is it always the art teachers that are the best ones? Let's be real.
Yeah, that's the same professor that, like, remember when we got really drunk over Easter weekend and I wrote my art history paper that while we were doing, like, 100 Easter egg jello shots and I got fucking wasted? And then the next day I woke up and was like, not only did I finish my paper, I fully edited it and did the full citation, and it was fucking done.
Yeah,
I had no memory of finishing it.
I remember because I was helping with that at that point.
Yeah, and then I turned it in, and he gave me like 110%, and he, on the margins, like drew a little shot glass every time in the paper I mentioned I was stopping writing to go take a shot.
A jello shot.
It was a paper about the political art of Ralph Steadman. I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I had the opposite experience with, I had a teacher pull me aside because my grade in art history was kind of like a roller coaster. Yeah. And I had one section that went real bad. It was, it's like post-Renaissance. It's real, very French
like Rococo?
And pink. Yeah, Rococo.
Yeah.
There's like, why, Hunter, why is your grade like tanking so hard all of a sudden? I said, oh, because I think this art sucks.
It fucking sucks. I do not like Rococo. No. It's just a bunch of fucking horny cotton candy.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, no, just skip past that till you get to fucking realism and romanticism. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, no, and my teacher legitimately was just like, that's fair. And like didn't talk to me about it anymore. It's just like,
what if I just gave him a C?
Yeah, let's not dwell on the French cotton candy. Instead, let's dwell on the beckoning, which the reason this is important in the V5 canon is because of the structure of the Camarilla. Mm-hmm. The structure of the Camarilla is very hierarchical, usually based on age, because it's a very feudal system. So, with the eldest of the elders fucking off with no notification, no power, like not setting anything up for them to fuck off.
Power vacuum's going.
Yeah, so now there's this just mad dash to claim who's on top, who isn't. There's just cities with princes that have just gone, and everybody's just like, oh, fuck, grab the chair. Oh my god, grab all the chairs. And the beckoning is going through, starting with like the highest, like the it's like golf rules generation. So it's like the lowest generation is slowly like chunking its way down through the ranks. So I believe, if I remember right off the top of my head, basically everybody that's 9th generation and lower, so more powerful, has left already, or they're feeling it, and they're doing something to make sure that they're fucking staying. Probably a lot of diablerie, at least from the lore that I've read. Or some sort of witchcraft. I don't know.
I mean, or just if it's diablerie, that would definitely be close to what the Gehenna lore was. Mm-hmm. Except for, again, they were just getting less powerful, and the only way they could, not become weak was to eblerize.
Yeah.
And they actually didn't get lower generation. They'd just be like, okay, I got a 5-hour energy drink.
I'm awake.
That or just staking themselves in a hole and being like, find me in 200 years.
Yeah, just like, wake me up when this is over. Wake me up when September ends.
I was going to say, wake me up before you go. The
All
better song.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Again, there's also the caveat. The Cappadocians are not affected by that.
Not just the Cappadocians.
Oh, yeah, it's the Harbingers of Skulls.
The Hekada. Oh, yeah. The whole group.
Really?
Is immune. Yes, the whole Hekada. The Death Clan, the one that's like the amalgam family. All the spooky death boys and girls and thems. Yeah, they are the ones that are like, no, we're not feeling this shit. Get fucked.
Yeah, this either might be a mechanical balance thing because all Harbingers of Skulls are no older than 8.
Oh,
yeah. Specifically those. Yeah, again, the Harbingers of Skulls themselves cannot be older generation than 8th. So if they were like, by the way, this has affected them, which there's, again, we've talked about the ways that this might be, the fact that they definitely don't have an antediluvian because Augusta killed him. And again...
And Augusta Giovanni, the first of the Giovannis, is gone.
Just straight out. That's how the Hekada came.
Could be some sort of death magic thing.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But again, it's either a balancing thing or... a lore hint thing, but the Hecata are just kind of like, we can be old and we're fine. Why? We're not moving.
Interesting.
Which does lend a lot more credence to the idea of the antediluvians going to fight whatever the hell's over there and going, children, come to me!
Or they're all fighting each other and a big death battle.
We all know Shaquille O'Neal will be winning this.
Yeah.
Or it could just be someone fucking with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
It could always just be like one mage just out in the desert, just like, this is funny.
Someone's got something against the cam on the Sabbat specifically. And everyone else, they're kind of like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Bali, I'm not after you.
As a representative of the technocrats, I'm going to just say no to that mage theory.
Yeah. But,
Because we would have shot him.
Yeah.
Well,
we
think
will
so.
we will get to that in a moment.
No.
So the next big thing that has happened in the V5 plot is that the Gangrel, as a clan, as a unit, left the Camarilla. The rough of this situation is, so just a little breakdown of the Camarilla hierarchy. So, you know, there's each city has a prince in charge and they have their councils, and there's just this weird web of networks of hierarchy and secret peoples and da-da. So supposedly the top of the Camarilla has a council, and each head of the clan has got a Justicar. That is the name of the person who's the top of the clan. The Gangrel had a Justicar named Xavier. Around 1999, in the Old World lore, and it's continued on into V5, Xavier was doing a mission of some sort, and he peered into the ground and went, uh-oh, I don't like this. Something is happening. And basically he was trying to warn everybody that the antediluvians were coming back. And at that time, the Camarilla did not acknowledge that shit. So no one believed him.
So
When you stick your head into the ground and you see mommy antediluvian there just going, fuck off!
So did he see all of them coming back, or the notes say specifically he saw the Gangrel antediluvian?
He saw something, but the thing is, if you circle back to Gehenna, again, there's a point where it says, if these guys are still around. And 3 of them are very heavily like, this is probably where they are. And one of them is Gangrel. And Gangrel was, if she's still around, she merged herself with the core of the earth. She just kind of went, ha, try to get me now, Kane Daddy. I dare you.
Just like the center of a fucking jawbreaker.
Yeah, just, I dare you. It's made of angry fire, and I'm part of it now.
Yeah. Again, this is just our speculation based off of shit we've read. If you in your
Yeah.
own game want to run with some other fucking plot points.
Yeah, you can say whatever the hell you want they saw under the ground, or it was a different thing. Who knows? I'm just giving you that's probably what they were hinting at.
Yeah.
We definitely... Well, we should decide. Do we want to do... Because I want to talk more about them, the antediluvians. Do we want to do their own episodes, tie them into clan episodes?
I've already got scripts like pre-started for talking more in depth about Cain and the antediluvians. I got stuff planned for each of the clans. I've got stuff set up for more in depth on Gehenna lore itself, and like, you know, this is just a rough crash course overview. Like I said, American 4th grade history. Yeah. We're gonna talk about, we're gonna touch it, and then fucking move on because we only have so much time in this goddamn museum right now.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I'm only bringing up the parts of the antediluvians that are actually where they'll matter in this canon, because that is when they told me about that, I was like, oh, I know what he saw on the ground.
Yeah.
I know
he saw the ground, and the ground
stared back at him.
Yeah. The ground went, leave me alone, child. I am your progenitor. And he went, you know what? Fuck that.
Yeah, if you stare long enough into the dirt stares back into you.
It did. And he tried to warn everybody, and just everybody that came around was like, ha ha ha, you're crazy, no. And during an event not long after that, Javier dies, like true death.
Yeah.
Gone. And kind of as part of a response to that, and the Gangrel just collectively agreeing to like take their warning seriously.
They were one of the clans that had a problem with the cam for the while. It's just like Gangrel and Bruja are kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this place.
But yeah, but even before the current actual full-blown Anarch Rebellion, the Gangrel just collectively, no one's quite sure how, because the Gangrel like live in the woods and all sorts of shit. So nobody's quite sure how they collectively like fucking Wi-Fi'd each other like at 99, 2000, and we're just like, we're leaving, and I went, right? But they did. They just, as a group, were just like, nope, fuck this, and went into the woods.
Dog sensing a storm, they just went, problems.
That's probably what a good chunk of it is. Just a bunch of people were like, hey, shit's fucked. And then I was like, I was wondering why I felt like shit was fucked. Yeah, let's get out of here. Which, that's definitely a good rule of thumb for players is if the gangrel is like, this is a bad idea, just go.
Remember, Transformers fan, if Ravage is leaving the battle, leave as well.
Remember, if the dog starts acting weird or the Malkavian starts talking cryptically, it's time to leave.
Just whatever they say, just go, uh-huh.
And you've spotted one of the other three that's confirmed.
Malkov? Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah, Malkav is, his actual place is, he is the Madness Network.
So that's what people think.
Yes.
No, that is literally what the book says in Ghana.
At least in the old world lore.
Yeah, in old world lore, yeah. I'm just doing this for you. Just be
Yeah.
like, no, in the book it actually says that. Or it's like, of the three confirmed, that's what he did. He just kind of went, I'm Wi-Fi.
He is the world. He is his children.
He spread himself out.
Malkav is in all of us. And by all of us, I
Malkav
mean
is in
only
all of
the
the
Malkavians.
Malkavians.
Yeah.
And the other one is Nosferatu, who is either in Antarctica or at the bottom of the ocean.
So he did what his children did, just hid in a real deep hole.
Well, yeah, that's his whole thing. He's got obfuscate so bad that if he has the silence from Doctor Who, where if you stop looking at him, you don't remember him. But he also, went full emo boy and either hid in Antarctica or is at the bottom of the ocean. One or the other. Those are the three that these are the ones we heavily say are a thing. And then they also talk about Soldat and oh god, what's the other one that's in Soldat?
Tremere and Salat.
Yeah, Salat and
Tremere.
Yeah, Tremere. Yeah, Tremere, Salat, and Zamitzi.
I love that so goddamn much, but I don't have time for that right now.
Drink.
But those guys, if they are around, they very potentially could be the reason everyone's going to the Middle East.
Exactly.
Yeah, so tying into reasons people are going out east, the fucking poor Ravnos. They for V5 only got released for public use in December of 2020. And me and a bunch of other people were like, yay, this will be fun. You guys made that clan less racist. Thank God. But what happened to them is very unfortunate, but also really metal.
It's really a bummer because I learned about them right as I took the clan test that they have on the V5 website now, and I was told I was Ravnos. So.
Yeah, but like I said, they made it less like 1990s, like, oh, it's cool to do gypsy face. Yeah, and it's like, no, that was never okay.
Well, that's the other thing in that Gehenna book. He would have been the fourth one that was still around. But he fucked around and he found out.
Yeah. So in the V5 canon, there is a lore sheet called The Week of Nightmares. And there's a little couple paragraphs that get into what we're about to discuss now. So we did do some digging in the old world books to confirm and cross-reference what's in the lore sheet. And pretty much everything translates directly over. And I was very pleased.
Yep, this is the one that I talked about earlier.
My Lady Wood was really just righteous.
She
was very excited.
So happy when I found that section in the book where I was like, yeah, by the way.
Yeah, take that, Bembridge scholars. But yeah, so this happens in Bangladesh, India, in July 1999. They got specific enough to give us a goddamn month. So this is very, like, concrete.
That's from Time of Thin Bloods.
Yeah, Time of Thin Bloods.
Time of Thin Bloods and the core book in the Week of Nightmares lore sheet. This is cross-canon. They are the same.
They even give the same date.
Yep, July 1999. Same city, too.
Yep, because
and I was just like,
because in the core book, it is page 395, and in Thin Bloods, in Old World lore, it's a 125.
I'm so proud that we even said the sources out loud, because I often make like citing notes in our little scripts, and we just don't fucking read it because you guys don't fucking need that shit usually. But I'm not crazy.
But how much we had to turbo nerd to find that fucker.
I remember.
I was very pleased.
We had one of our non-recording get-together nights as you guys were working on that, and I definitely...
zoned out.
Yes. I was like, oh, this is cool, and then you guys started talking about pages and cross-references, and I got real lost in the
citing things
sauce.
in MLA. I was very proud. We have a master research doc with, like, all of the sources, and I'm citing that shit because I'm expecting somebody on the internet to be like, you're a woman with opinion online. How dare? And I'm like, literally, here's all my citations.
Here's my citations.
Fucking come at me.
Yeah, so even though Ravnos are precious, precious little babies, we're going to talk about how they're getting fucked in a bit.
No, right now.
Yeah, exactly.
As described in literature, it is quote-unquote unknown parties.
Probably mages.
Probably mages.
Technocrats.
Which are us mages.
We're different.
They're
better.
They're like two sides of the same coin.
We're the ones that are winning, darling. Ask the Second Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that book yet.
They announced
Give
it.
A second.
And again, I got really horny because my dumbass was like, cool, here's all this research I did on Project Prism. And I'm like, wait, no, I gotta wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Quote unquote unknown parties have been cited as destroying the antediluvian of the Ravnos. Now, for my entertainment purposes, I want to hear you guys try to say this motherfucker's name.
You mean Hunter, because I'm the one who read it off to you.
Zapathasura.
Actually, that's not bad.
No,
I'm proud of you.
Pretty accurate.
Because that is, I feel like, pretty on the nose, but every time I read that, I read it as Zarathustra because I've read way too much philosophy.
Yeah, I almost made a the spake joke.
God. Thus books. Yeah. You know, everybody goes through there like, I'm 14, I've read fucking nihilism.
Now, the thing is that they're going to get into is in the new lore, it's said that, oh no, maybe he was nuked. Maybe he had the sun on him.
In the Week of Nightmares reference sheet, it says that he was destroyed with quote-unquote the power of the sun. Mm-hmm. Now, whether this is a nuclear weapon or somebody kicked his ass outside or it's a space laser.
Which again, as for the references, also see Thin Bloods during the fight when Ravnos was fighting an unknown party who was kicking the crap out of him a little bit. Again, we're not going to name names on them, the scary people we don't. He made the day nighttime so they could fight endlessly. And, actually, no. That was the Don't Party that made it Forever Night.
Part of the coalition take this down apparently called in like a typhoon
to
blot out the sun.
Yeah, typhoons, storms, everything, so they could keep fighting endlessly. But when they used to kill him, they were like, okay, cool. The technocrats were like, we're going to nuke him. And that didn't kill him. That just killed the don'ts that were blotting out the sun. And that let them array their satellites to laser his ass with sunlight to death. That's in, again, the old world lore. Again, we don't know what happened in New World, but it sounds a lot like that's what happened.
So,
Space lasers.
Space lasers. The coalition that took
magnifying glass.
Zapathasura. Yeah, so when that battle was happening in the V5 canon, he pulled on the power of the blood and summoned as many of his childer and offspring and generations as possible. And however that manifested, whether they physically went to India or their blood just went and they became a dried husk, that fucking killed most of the clan. And those who remain, their clan curse is different now. Mm-hmm. I'm spacing right now what the fuck their old curse was, because I will be honest, I
remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll be honest, I as an ST back in the day did not allow people to play Ravnos because I was like, this is Gypsy Face. I will let you do it if you can write this in a way that is not Gypsy Face, and I never had a player turn in a character sheet that I was like, this is problematic.
Mm-hmm. This, so it was inherently to that degree because their old clan Bane was basically they were all kleptomaniacs. They basically were like required to steal.
No. I remember this because I did this for a character. Because I had a character who, sweet child. She was the ray of sunshine in my old world game who actually took, if you're listening to this, darling, you actually made that game playable because she made a flawed character that was very good. Mm-hmm. And she dealt with the topic of rape.
Yeah.
She felt that, the person who made her wanted to rape her. And she just knew that a rape might have happened. And when she woke up, She was a vampire. She didn't have her sire. The thing is, she thought she was a Bruja. She was a ragey punk musician. Mm-hmm. The thing was, I was rolling her clan Bane as Ravnos. Because I was like, no, the rape didn't happen. A Ravnos came in, fucking murdered the shit out of that Bruja. No rape happened. And he went, oh no, he almost killed this little one. Well, I'm going to turn it into a vampire so it can live because this bitch rocks. And it's actually, temptation. It's like drugs and vices. It's something about vices. They're really easy to fall into their vices. And again, as Sarah said, she's talked about the New World version, which is they have the kind of Romani gypsy can't stay in one place
well,
thing.
It's not even a Romani gypsy thing, but their trope is travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because their sire was, attacked with the power of the sun, if a Ravnos now stays in one location in the same place within a week of the staying of a place, they take aggravated damage equal to their bane severity in burning from the inside out. So I think that's interesting in the trope of like dealing with refugeeism and all that kind of stuff, which I think that's metal as shit. I'm glad that's something that's kind of being addressed, and how is the community overall dealing with it. But
that's also a really interesting character flaw you have to play out to be like, so is it if you stay in the same place, so you could stay somewhere for 6 days and then you have to move?
No, every night different place if you stay in the same place within a week.
Okay, in the same place within a week.
Yeah, so if you stay at a Motel 6, next day you got to go to the Hyatt, next day you got to go to a trailer park, next day you got to go but if within the 7 days you go back to the fucking Motel 6.
If you're smart for your coterie, if other people have havens, you just couch surf forever. Mm-hmm. You just have a rotating thing of couches just to be like, no.
I just had a fucking brutal idea. I assume that applies to any of them that may be in torpor.
No. Remember, they're not affected by. You're in a state of not existing, so I would assume that would. I mean, I'm pretty sure when they wake up, they're gonna have a real bad time. Though again, as per the new canon, I don't know what they say, but in the old world lore, literally he did do the beckoning on all of the Ravnos. He just went, come here!
Yeah.
And the other thing he did, and it's the reason why it really sucks if you're playing a Ravnos in old world, because when Gehenna starts off, if you didn't come, that's fine. Like, most of them will come, but the people who didn't, when he dies, they immediately lose their fucking minds and start trying to kill every single other Ravnos. It's just immediate disrespect your surroundings with no holds barred. There's no morals. It's just kill because of how much it hurts to feel your progenitor just cut off.
So that is one of those things that's real cool to read in a book, but sounds dog shit to have to play.
Most of the Gehenna stuff was really fucking hard because, as I said, the Withering, which is, we haven't talked about that, and it doesn't have any New World stuff, is literally just, hey, were you playing an uber powerful character? Yeah, by the way, when you wake up, you stop being able to do a lot of your cool stuff. Why? You feel very, very bad. You know how you can stop that? Eat somebody.
The forbidden snack.
Yeah, and then everybody started doing it, and it's why the Camarilla went down in the old world lore. It's because the elders just started being like, no, Diablerie, instead of in hiding and secret in the background where they were doing it naturally, they were just doing it in the open. And then the Anarchs and everybody else went, I thought we all agreed not to eat each other.
That's like in your rules. That's like the fourth one.
That's like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Like, we're not supposed to be seen, but also don't eat everybody.
Yeah, just not only this is vampire crime, like no murder each other. We're same team.
Yeah, but everybody else started doing that. The difference was this happened right before, so they started it. So yeah, it's poor Ravnos. Poor Ravnos. They had a hard time in old world lore because again, they literally start with "you're fucked."
Yeah, so that's kind of part one of very basic history of vampire.
The fastest of bullet points.
That really only covers old world stuff. Now next week we're going to be getting into the stuff that starts V5.
Like purely V5, no real crossover.
Yeah, right now there were some stuff that had references to both, and I believe we have some references to old world stuff because some of stuff was foreshadowed. And,
Yeah.
A la Red Star.
Yeah. Well, there's basically the way we tried to structure this two-parter is we're describing everything in the roughest, most accurate timeline that we are aware of at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you follow along, it's kind of like, okay, we're going from prehistory, and then suddenly a lot of shit happens in a very short amount of time.
A lot of shit happened before that. It's just nothing that really completely mattered because it got shoomed over to the new games.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you were to set a game like in the 90s or in the Victorian era or the medieval era, there'd probably be an entire another episode just of bullet points like this that we could run through. But we're trying to get you guys
In
up
the
to modern V5. If people are interested, we can definitely do a Victorian era episode or medieval.
I can just be the worst asshole bear. We're like, this is Victorian. I'm like, actually, that's Edwardian. And when you're talking about Victorian, you're actually talking about like 1840s, 1880s. Like, the shit matters. A lot of shit changes in a very short amount of time in that time period. But not important right now.
Medieval period was a fairy book, and there's cool folklore stuff.
Oh,
That's all
God.
I know about history.
I could do a whole fucking episode about just the effects of the Black Plague on vampire society and how much that fucked shit.
Funny enough, that lore book that funny enough, that fluff book I talked about is kind of actually about that. That's what the vampire one is. They're just like, this monster could have been the thing that did the Black Plague.
Wasn't that a real world belief some people had, that it was like caused supernaturally by like demons or vampires?
Well, yeah.
As I said, I will just bring these fluff books over and just be like, here you go. I mean, I don't know how much they're canon, but they were fun to read.
Yeah, it's just... I love World of Darkness lore because there's internally within its own canon, there's just layer after layer after layer of just shit you can get into that's just kind of fantastic. And then also seeing what stacks on top of real history and also just the layers into that shit as well. Mm-hmm. And we have lost the audience.
No. Greg's still here. He's a good boy.
I kind of stopped listening. I was removing my boots without standing up.
Your boots. Did you succeed?
Yeah.
Nailed it. Proud of you. You did it.
I succeeded.
Succeeded.
Greg, if you love us, you'll listen to this again to have it more watch time. Thank you.
Do you really have a friend named Greg?
No.
Is this an imaginary man?
No.
Is this one of your bots?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, if I was doing this right, I would have said Gary.
First Greg that messages us listening to this one's a prize.
We don't know what the prize is yet. We will determine that at some point.
I'm going to give Greg, I will mail you this bag of mini Fuego Takis.
There's mini Fuego Takis?
Yeah, I was going to eat them, but I decided not to because I had enough wine.
Well, they're for Greg now.
Yeah, these are Greg's Takis.
Let's be real. It's just Takis. Greg may have lost entrance after you just told him the mystery prize was just Takis.
Dude, they are Takis that have been graced by the phalanges of Hunter.
Yeah, maybe I'll include a note or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Just enjoy the Takis.
I'll devalue them more.
No, you're revaluing them. Come on, just let the syndicate programming help you out. Good
Revaluing is a really nice way of saying devaluing. I like that. I'm going to have to keep that in mind at work.
There you go. Good job.
I'm just revaluing our stock.
Yes, good. Let the subliminal...
I am going to
text.
yeet something at you, you fucking capitalistic nightmare. I just fucking cannot.
I was constructed for this whole point.
Anywho. Thank everybody who has been listening to our nonsense so far.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's great. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say other than just thanks. We really appreciate it.
So next episode is going to be us digging into ShrekNet and the Anarch Rebellion and what the fuck did happen to Tremere and Thin Bloods and all sorts of shenaniganry.
And the Banu Hakim.
Also, they mean the Tremere clan, not the Tremere Elder.
No, a little bit of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we are digging into that.
A little bit. I'm not getting into the spicy conversation that happened when Tigurius went and tried to petition to get the Bino Hakim accepted into Camarilla, the Allah Becca's Jihad Diary, because, my God, the fucking shade. It's, so good.
But yeah, if you're an old world player, I hope this episode, even though it's stuff you've probably heard, you're probably intrigued by the fact that everything we listed has been referenced in the new books and that those things are important canon. So those are very strong things you can tie your new game into and be like, these are things I know and I can use.
Yeah.
And if you're new, hey, that's a
you're,
lot of new info we're shoving down your throat.
Right? Things that are referenced in the book, you're like, this has some context and I don't have to read 30 years of fucking bullshit. It's like, nah, you don't have to. Find you a friend that knows the 30 years of bullshit.
We did.
Hello. They had me made.
Did we make you? Is that what it is now?
You had a thought and it came into the universe.
Cool.
Otherwise known as money.
Well,
I wasn't thinking about money.
No, that background makes me think you're a Fae type creature. You might be a changeling if you're created out of pure thought.
No. Your Amazon Echo heard it and it was like, we need
Bitch,
to
I
make
don't have
that
an
thing
Amazon Echo.
that you know of.
They gave me one at work and I broke it because it scared me.
Broke it.
Yeah, I hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, that's how technology works. It's fine. That's how you think it works.
If I keep thinking about wine, will more show up?
You're
I have
definitely going to get
another bottle of
advertisements.
wine. I have a second bottle of
Oh
wine.
my
It
God.
worked.
It worked.
Oh my
The
God.
high humanity is paying off.
Or technocrats.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks, bands, for giving us the muzak.
Yes. As always, Paralyze for an awesome ass soundtrack. We also have a Discord link down below. Come join us and bullshit with us. We're gonna hang out in there. We play video games, chat with people.
Share some sick memes.
Cat
I have
photos.
Cat photos. Fucking show us your dumbass pets.
Yeah.
I have started a TikTok for this podcast. Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, if you wouldn't believe it, I'm the one who started the pet chat.
There's also an Instagram,
Yup.
blankbodies pod. We'll be sharing some shit there.
Please do like, share, and spread this with all of your
Rate,
friends, please.
Share it with your LARP groups.
If I don't drink too much wine tonight, I will try and set up a link tree when I get all the links compiled. So you can
believe
go
in
look
you.
at us
Hey,
on all kinds of
also,
sites.
are you in a LARP? Do you want to share us what the fuck you're doing in your story, and maybe we can share that with other people?
Yeah, or if you just played
Ooh.
long time ago when before times.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Dude.
definitely does
By that I
bring
mean
up
the 90s.
Yeah.
That does bring up a good segment because,
What?
our content warning section, if you have an interesting story and you'd like to send it in, we
Ooh.
might could talk about reading audience stories. Because let's be real, I think some of my stories are pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
everybody else here thinks they have some awesome stories from their games. And let's be real, I'd love to hear your weird shit.
As
Yeah.
we get to more pointed episodes too, like we know what we're going to be talking about. Say before we do our clan episode, if you want to send us, this is a story about the favorite Ventru I've ever played, or
Yeah.
one of my players played this badass Nosferatu.
If you can send us a Malkavian story that isn't a fish malk, I'm here to read it. I am not joking. I want the interesting malks because you know you can do it. You're better than that. You can do it. You don't just have to be lol so random.
So, you know how in D&D I've never played a barbarian because there's never space in a party for one, so I usually end up playing, Horlock or Cleric. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same thing. I've never played a Malkavian because just somebody always jumps on it immediately.
It's the rogue of vampire, let's be real.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're share your fun stories. You got cool art. You got cool cosplays.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
yeah.
follow some people on Instagram that do some fucking rad ass cosplays.
I want to see your cosplays.
Yes.
And also, give me that mage cosplay. Any of them. I definitely want to see the Technocrats, but give me the Akashic Brotherhood. Let's go.
Yeah, if we're asking for specific things, tell me about your Hunter the Vigil game.
Yeah. I'm so
Lo-
excited for the Second Inquisition book because then I'm technically, if that book has everything in it that they're saying, I think you could technically run a Hunter game in V5.
I will do a whole
will.
episode where I pull out lore from
Fuck yeah.
the best parts of Chronicles was
The only
the
part.
Hunter books,
Dude.
and I will be like, all right, so this is how you run all this bullshit using V5.
Again, because we talk about it, and I will agree and restate my opinions every time. Chronicles is dog shit as long as it's the main 3. Everything else is fucking amazing. The Hunter, Slasher, Sin Eater, Promethean. Give me that shit. That shit was amazing.
Wasn't there a thing in Chronicle where you could play like children, like Scooby Gang?
Yeah, that's Hunter. Slasher was actually part of the Hunter.
Yeah, it was, and it was real good.
Yeah.
Again, Sin Eater. Oh my.
All right. Put your vibrator attachment away.
But yeah,
I said put it away.
before we get over along,
Yeah.
Yep.
like, subscribe,
Share.
smash that bell.
Smash that
hit-
dislike button. If you hate it, fuck you. It's engagement.
Yeah,
I
give us
win.
Please don't
give
hit it
us
too
whatever-
hard. Your machine does have feelings, and it knows when you're being too mean.
Give us an honest rating, so a 5-star.
Yes, the syndicate programming is affecting him.
No, but I really do appreciate it. Good night.
Good night.
Skipper's not here, so